here with Coach Gibbons and Miss Sweeney, and this is Coach's Corner. So let's get right into it. What would you say the mental state of the team is going into the season?
I think they're excited. They got a good season to build off of, and so I think they're ready to play. So.
Next question for you. Do you think the team is ready for the first game?
No, probably not ready for the first game. It'll probably be a interesting first probably 7 or 8 games of the season. We've got a pretty good schedule right out of the gate. So, we'll be ready to take the floor. We're totally ready to play. Probably not until about 6 or 7 games in. But they're excited, so.
Need to get into that rhythm.
Well, getting the rhythm. It's a new group. I'm a new coach. It's a new group of guys.
Yep.
And so, lost a pretty good amount of players from last year's team. And so, kind of getting these guys adjusted to, kind of playing at the varsity level will be the challenge early on. But I think we'll do a pretty good job as the season rolls along.
Question for both of you. How far do you think each team will go into the playoffs this year? What would you say the goal is?
Our goal last year was to make it, so we made it there. So I'm going to try and do one better and at least make it to the second round. Just try to not put a huge goal on it, but just do one better than we did last year.
Yeah.
So
just improve on
correct.
Where you were. Just
keep getting better. And so if we can win the first round and make it to the second round, I'd say we had a success.
And you?
Obviously your goal every year is to be the team that's the last team playing in the state championship. That would always be your goal year in, year out. So I don't want to shortcut that coming into the season. Obviously these guys went to the Elite 8 last year. So building on that, we have the goal of getting there and being one of the last teams left at the end. So, hopefully shoot for the stars, hit the moon at worst.
How would you, how's the exciting new prospect, Jermaine Mann, fit into the team, and how has he been performing in practice?
Well, the good thing about it is we got a really good group of guys, and so I think that, some of the young guys that came up, and along with Jermaine coming in, and also Darryl Rice, I think they fit into kind of the fabric of what we already had going as a team, and so they just kind of fit in. Obviously, you bring in some guys that are talented. That helps the core of the team, and it helps the level of play. So, with all that being said, I think he's adjusted well. I think both those guys have adjusted well and fit into what we're trying to do. And I think the team as a whole is really, really tight, which is always a positive thing when you bring a new group of guys together along with a new coach. So.
You said they're just kind of meshed,
Yeah, guys have meshed together. I think it kind of started right away when school started. I think the guys kind of started hanging out and they do some stuff away from school together, and I think that helps the team, grow a lot closer as you kind of go through it.
Mm-hmm. Next question for you. Who will fill the gap that New Stratton left in the paint?
We got a lot of new people that are going to hopefully help fill that spot. We got a transfer senior, S.K. Kirby. Then we have a new freshman who I'm hoping will do big things. Jacqueline Hester. She's looking good. She's close to 6 foot, so I think she's going to help a lot to replace New Stratton because she can shoot and she can finish on the inside. So kind of very similar to what Emily was.
What would you say the game plan is this year? Are you guys going to run the offense completely through Alice Anne, or are you going to change it up?
We're going to try and run it through multiple people. We don't want to just focus solely on Alice Anne because what happens when they take Alice Anne away, other people have to step up. So you can't ever just run an offense through one person. We have Ashton who can shoot the ball just as well as Alice Anne. Jacqueline's going to be able to be a key offensive player as well. So I'm going to try and spread it out so the other team doesn't just focus on Alice Anne either, because I'm going to have multiple people that can score and be offensive threats besides just Alice Anne.
You got to work as a team.
Correct.
Next question for you. Who's going to run point in the first game? Is it Neglia or Darryl Rice?
It's been a toss-up. It's been a battle going through. I think either one of those guys we decide to start tomorrow night is going to do a great job. Both of them bring a lot of similar qualities, and then each of them have some things that they do independent of the other one that I think is going to be good. And I think that those guys combined is going to give us a great situation at the point guard spot. It's very rare that you have 2 guys that you can start and go either direction. I know a lot of coaches would love to have that. I know we're blessed to have that opportunity with both of those guys. And so it'll just be interesting as the season goes along, how it plays out. But I see both of those guys playing tons of minutes at the point guard spot.
With the addition of 2 new transfers, how will the roles of big returning players like Lynch and Nate Allison be affected?
I don't think it will be affected. I think it actually helps those guys where you don't have so much on their shoulders as far as scoring. We can spread the scoring load around, and so as you're coming to games, you have the game plan for basically 4 guys who can really score the basketball. You know, the biggest thing with Nate is, you know, he's had a great offseason. He's really worked on his body. He's got himself in great shape, and I think that, you know, you'll see him be able to now go out and kind of show people what he's been able to do. He's giving you guys probably a glimpse of it throughout his whole career, but hopefully this year we'll be able to put together, you know, the full season for him. And then obviously Julian will just pick up where he left off from last year. Has been a guy who can score the basketball and do a lot of different things on the floor. And so I think combined with adding, you know, Jermaine and Daryl to that equation, I think that gives us a really good mix, you know, every night out.
Of course. Next question for you. Are there any big adjustments structurally that you've made to the team for this year?
I guess not really. I mean, we're trying new things. Last year I kind of picked up on whatever Coach Ratliff was doing because it was an easy transition and it was easy for me just to do what I knew. So I am making some adjustments and changes. I'm going to try and see if we can do some things differently this year than what we did in the past. Maybe not play a straight zone, see if we can play people in man because we're going to be smaller than we have in the past. So we're going to have to be able to play a quicker paced game. So I guess I'm just putting my touch on some things instead of just going based on what I've done under other people.
Taking it into your own, almost under your wing and
Right.
putting your own spin on it.
Correct.
Next question for you. How big of a task has it been coming in to this school, you know, being the head coach after our previous coach was here for so long? Has that been hard for you, or is it,
No,
was it fairly easy?
Well, I mean, it's coaching. You pick up your teams and you go to work. It's just like a job. You know, you get hired at a new job. You walk in there and you put your boots on and you go to work. You know, the fortunate thing is that the last coach, you know, obviously did a good job. These guys were coming off of the Elite Eight. So that's you know, only one Elite Eight in school history, and so obviously he did a great job with last year's team. And so you just come in and try to pick up off that momentum, and not come in here like Coach just said, and try to put your own spin on things. Everything they did was good, and some of the things they did, you know, weren't so good. And so you just try to figure out the things you liked that they did, and you keep those, and the things that they did that you didn't like, you just kind of move past those things. And that's probably been the biggest adjustment. And so you'll see us, like I said, in the first 7 to 10 games, it'll be an adjustment for the guys to a different voice on the sideline, kind of a different way to approaching some of the things in the game. And so hopefully it pays off in January and February, maybe not so much early on. But as far as being a big adjustment, hey, it's basketball. You know, I've been doing this for a while.
Strictly business.
Strictly business.
All right, well, thank you both.
No problem. Thank
It was
you.
good talking
Yeah, I
to you.
appreciate it. Thank you.